It's 8:30. Good morning. I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. Central Hunter Police say they're hot on the heels of those involved in an elaborate drug supply ring in the Hunter and expect to make more arrests. 10 people were arrested following raids on 11 properties at Cessnock, Mayfield and Jesmond yesterday after a year-long investigation into the supply of the drug ice. Detectives from Strike Force Hoadley say the police operation has made a significant impact on the drug trade in the Hunter. The Hunter's only federal coalition MP plans to vote yes to same-sex marriage legislation as long as religious and parental freedoms aren't compromised. David Gillespie's electorate of Lyne, which takes in parts of Port Stephens and Maitland, voted 55% in favour of same-sex marriage, so he intends to follow the wishes of his electorate, despite personally being a no campaigner. He says it's time to look forward, with legislation expected to come before Parliament today.
I think all the issues of protection of religious freedom and expression of religious thought and not being conflicted, if someone holds strong beliefs, needs to be protected, as well as the freedom of speech and parental control of what their children are taught. They're very important foundational principles.
A Hunter man is due to reappear in court in January, accused of sexually assaulting 5 boys over a 17-year period. The Herald says 61-year-old Stephen Burke has been charged with 20 offences dating back to 1994. The alleged offences took place at Dora Creek, Rathmines, Awabba, Gorican on the Central Coast and Bathurst in the Central West. Burke was living in a motorhome at Morisset Showground when he was arrested in April. The future of the Rugby League Centre of Excellence at Broadmeadow is in doubt, with reports suggesting the state government's $10 million grant may not come to fruition. The Wests Group committed to investing $10 million into the project, and it was hoped the government would match that dollar for dollar. Newcastle MP Tim Crackenthorpe says this grant is needed to kick-start the long-awaited Hunter Sports and Entertainment Precinct.
Well, applications opened in April last year and we're supposed to have a response in June this year. The government's dilly-daddling and there's a lot of clubs with applications in, and $1.6 billion being spent in Sydney, I think, is the second largest city in the state. Really deserve to get just a little bit of that money to kick-start the sporting and entertainment precinct in Newcastle.
Residents in the Singleton and Muswellbrook areas are being urged to utilise the time before the summer fire season to prepare for potential bushfires. The key things to do is to trim and remove overhanging branches, remove flammable materials from around the home, clear leaves and debris from gutters, and make sure you have a robust garden hose. Leanne Bell from the RFS says these precautions will help protect your property from ember attack.
The majority of houses that are burnt down in bushfires is from ember attack. And there are simple things that you can do to prepare your property against ember attack.
The Reconnected Round Table is coming to Newcastle today to discuss ways to bring communities closer together and be more involved with each other. The Round Table will see locals gather to brainstorm how to get people more involved with their communities and the benefits of doing so. Shadow Treasurer Andrew Lee is hosting the Round Table alongside Newcastle MP Sharon Claydon, who encouraged the MP to bring the discussion to the region.
She's encouraged me to bring the Reconnected Roadshow to Newcastle, to learn from much of what there is in Newcastle, and also to talk about some of the ideas we've garnered in other parts of Australia.
Sport for our sponsor, PRD Nationwide East Maitland.
The Jets will face their toughest test so far this season against the defending champion Sydney FC this weekend. Both sides sit at the pointy end of the ladder after jumping out from the blocks. Star midfielder Ben Kenarowski says the boys won't be taking a backward step.
Sydney are a strong team. They did really well last year and they won the league. They really cleaned up everything, so it's going to be another tough match for us. We've got to be mindful of their attacking abilities, and we're going to be mindful of that, but at the same token we're not going to let them play all over us either.
Charlestown's Jake Higginbottom begins his New South Wales Open campaign today with 12 other Hunter golfers. He tied 8th in the event last year and will look to go one better as he prepares for next month's Australian Open. Other Hunter hopes in the event include Nathan Green, James Nitties and Nick Flanagan. And a final second wave has landed Merewether surfer Jackson Baker a berth in round 2 of the Hawaiian Pro. A 2-wave total of 10.83 was enough to avoid elimination from the 4-man heat. That's sport. I'm Josh Sim.
And the winning numbers in Wednesday Lotto are 37, 17, 10, 14, 20 and 28, and the supplementaries are 21 and 27. 2NURFM News Time, 25 to 9.